Hello, welcome to This Week at Draft. I'm excited to launch this because transparency is at the core of what we do. I wanted to create a space where I can openly share the journey of building my company, our company. This vlog and podcast format just felt like the right way to do that, allowing us to connect in a more personal and direct way to give a little bit of sort of what's going on behind the scenes. For those who may not be familiar, I know I've done this every episode, so I may not always do this, but because I'm assuming we are still relatively unknown, we do advertising. Draft Media Partners does advertising. It's our mission. It's our motto. We do advertising. Specifically, we are an advertising execution company with a proprietary tech stack that enables us to plan and execute paid media campaigns across various verticals. We often work behind the scenes, supporting other media companies, agencies, and fractional CMOs. Draft is composed of 7 divisions: Draft Outdoor, the largest network of outdoor advertising; Draft Broadcast, our traditional media buying service; Draft Digital, handling all things new media. Handling all things new media; Draft Ad Tech, where we're building the future of advertising; Draft Creative, offering full service creative solutions; Draft Direct, focused on direct mail and mailings and those things; and Draft Promotion, specializing in branded physical products. In our last episode, which was 2 weeks ago now, we discussed the critical difference between marketing and advertising. This week, I'm shifting gears to talk about the importance of change and customer feedback, specifically how practicing radical empathy can profoundly impact your business as it has ours. On a personal note, we skipped last week's episode because we were traveling back from the Mars Society conference. That's a group dedicated to raising awareness about the significance of Mars development and exploration. I firmly believe that when we as individuals or as a society are not striving towards a larger goal, that's when depression and discord arise. We either move toward a brighter future together, or we risk tearing each other apart. And I think that's true of families. I think that's true of individuals. And I think that's true of societies, which is why we're a part of the Mars Society. I'm thrilled to report that we're currently at 96.7% of our goal for this quarter, putting us off to a fantastic start as we are, well into the quarter, still pacing well. We're about 9% of ahead of where we were at this time last quarter, which is a great indicator of our momentum. Time management continues to be our biggest challenge. As a small team, scaling effectively is always on our minds. This week's big lesson for me is the importance of delegation. It's not that I'm some sort of control freak or that I need to do everything myself. I just don't like burdening others. So if there's a task that comes across my desk that I can literally do, I like to do it. But as a leader, I realized that by trying to handle too many tasks myself, I'm actually hindering our company's growth. I'm fortunate enough to have a team that's not only capable but eager to take on these challenges, and I just need to get out of the way and let them do that. Our wildly important goal for this quarter is a 10% revenue growth over last quarter, and as I already mentioned, we're on track to do that. Only 1% off from that goal, so that's pretty good. The primary project I'm focusing on this week is refining our go-to-market pitch decks. We're working on making them more uniform and cohesive, ensuring that we are effectively representing what we offer consistently every time, no matter who's leading the meeting, etc. If you've ever heard me speak or on a podcast somewhere, some of you might know I should have done a little segue. So all of that so far has been going over our goals and all of that stuff. Now I'm getting into a little bit of the sort of core content of the episode here, dealing with radical empathy. But if you've ever heard me tell the company story, I always mention how we started out as a SaaS company for agencies under the name Draft Advertising Technology. The idea was to build this, planning tool, this media buying and planning tool. But based on customer feedback, we quickly pivoted because so many folks were like, hey, this is great. Thanks for building the plan, but we really need somebody to just do the plan. And so we became an advertising fulfillment company. And then after that, we've only continued to expand our offerings based on what customers say they need. So we get enough requests for outdoor, then we start looking for outdoor companies and those types of things to either acquire or partner with, et cetera. Listening to your customers, whether they're happy or angry or somewhere in between, that's crucial. Our job as a business, no matter what kind of business it is ultimately to solve problems. And for us, the problem we solve is advertising. Initially, we thought the solution was on the planning side. So we built the planning tool and all that. But really, it was on the execution side. That was the real issue. So we adapted. And now the planning tools and everything else we built just helps us do our job better. But ultimately, the real goal that the marketplace had was just to have advertising be done for them. You must be willing to pivot based on feedback. If a particular segment of your business is thriving, dig into why and how you can enhance it further. On the flip side, if you're getting consistent negative feedback, listen closely. Many people know that, my love language is correction. I find it incredibly valuable when somebody points out an error I've made because that helps me grow. I often will make picks and build my team around folks that tell me, hey, this is a dumb idea. You shouldn't do this. Or, hey, that's the kind of stuff I thrive on. So the one of the Raquel, our graphic designer, very early on became a critical part of the team of like somebody that I was like, this person's going to be, and we've worked closely together now for, 15 years or so. But it was like our first or second week working together, and she corrected me on something that she was like, hey, no, I don't think you should have said that way. That was misleading. And she was right. I looked at it, and she was correct. I was being sort of, I would say unintentionally, but that's not true either. I was being intentionally misleading or vague to an account executive who I knew would be upset. And so she called me out on it, and have been eternally grateful. And then since then, I think she's called me out on probably roughly 1 million mistakes that I've made, and those kinds of things are important. The same goes for my company. We aim to be better. I want to grow. I want the company to grow, and I want to be better next week than we are today. And I want to be better 10 years from now than we are today. And those types of things only happen if we evolve, and you only evolve if you're getting feedback. So practice radical empathy, seek out opportunities to listen and improve. There is nothing better for you or your business than that customer that's screaming at you because you messed something up. That's going to be the most honest type of feedback you can get. You can't pay for that kind of feedback. Paying for focus groups and all those things have been part of those meetings. I've led those meetings. They're, in my opinion, fine. They serve a purpose, but ultimately, you don't know until you've got that person who's like, that looks stupid. Those types of things. That person should be your best friend. That customer that's going, why on earth are you guys doing things this way? This is just so stupid. Blah 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 blah. That type of thing. Phenomenal feedback. I'd love to hear your thoughts, feedback, or suggestions on the podcast. To that end, please reach out to us at info@draftmediapartners.com. Today, we covered the importance of change, customer feedback, and lessons I've learned about delegation. Remember, growth requires evolution, both personally and as a company. Thank you for tuning in to This Week of Draft. I appreciate your time and look forward to connecting with you again next week.